Good morning. It's me, Pearl, and this is Tuned In Tarot. And we're about to look at the divine energy balance within ourselves, understanding that whatever state we find the divine masculine energy and the divine feminine energy inside of self can be reflected back to us from the outside world. So we can glean things from people in our lives, but only because they're truly a reflection of where we are. So when you're associating this with a certain person, you have to ask yourself, how am I doing XYZ that's somehow attracting that energy? Because there's something you're doing that you need to shift inside of yourself. Divine Feminine gets to go first today because all of her cards were showing, and she's overthinking, and Divine Masculine is overfeeling today. So we've got some things happening. So let's take a look. Top of the deck, overall headspace, forefront of the mind for Divine Feminine is the Six of Swords in reverse. So we have a Divine Feminine who's really wanting to go there, and to there I mean to that next place, the unknown. She's really feeling like she's very, very ready to have done the work that she's needed to do to learn how the things in her past and the struggles and strife that have come, to learn from those things and build that bridge and get to that next place. And she feels like she's kind of stalling a little bit, like she was kind of on a roll there, and now her there's like a reluctance to kind of finish the last things she needs to finish to start that journey to get moving. She's also aware that she wants to go forward, but she like really wants her divine masculine to get on this boat with her, and she doesn't want to sail away without him either. So she's kind of holding herself in this holding position while divine masculine sort of sorts himself out so that she can continue on. And so she has a sense that she's holding her own boat back. Like she really wants to go to that sanctuary and leave this familiar place where there's been a lot of struggle and get to that next point. But her mind is still like back here, right? It's still like thinking over these things, going over these things. The overthinking is dominating. And so she's having trouble and fearing this next place because she doesn't also know where she's going because she's never been here before. So she's not at all sure exactly where she's headed. The niggling feeling in the back of her mind is this Ten of Swords again. It's upright today. So she's a little more acutely aware of the painful separation today. She was aware that there would be an end to separation recently. This card has come up a few times in energy in the last few days to indicate an awareness of the end of separation. But if you're overthinking and you're not really leaving the place where you are and heading to that new place and thinking about that new place, then you're probably kind of fixated on the past pain that has just occurred or that is here because you're still in separation. So she's realizing, shit, like by focusing on this painful separation, I'm keeping my boat from going forward. I'm like holding it back with my own thinking. So she's aware, though. She's aware. And when you're aware of something, that means you have the potential to shift. So she's understanding that it's like her stalling a little bit on the last bits of healing work she needs to do, and being still a bit afraid to face what comes after she gets in that boat. She's working on it. Consequently, the first thing on her mind is the Five of Pentacles. So there could be some sadness here. Not an overwhelming sadness though, but definitely like, hey, I'm still out here though. I'm really out here though still. Here I am still in lack mentality, not forever, but just temporarily still there by my own machinations of my brain, of my mind, which is still keeping me here. I'm still working this out. But I'm definitely still being left out in the cold by this guy who's back, the Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands. Lasai. He's here again. So this divine masculine energy has been engaging in, passionate declarations of love with no consistency. So divine feminine is still out in the cold. He could also have been acting in anger or aggression. He could have done like intentional withholding, knowing that would be hurtful. There's a lot of different elements that could have come from this Knight of Wands energy. But the light traits of the Knight of Wands is throwing caution to the wind, heading with passion for what it is that you want, bringing enlightenment, bringing new ideas and communication, and it's swift motion. So I think while we are seeing her reminiscing, because that's what's happening here in this Six of Swords in reverse. Good morning, Ash. We're also seeing her reflecting upon the positive aspects of the energy that are associated here. And that the Five of Pentacles energy, she's really swiftly moving out of it. She's not going to be stuck in this energy for long. Because when these cards are together, we've got this one coming up and then this one heading away. Like we're not seeing this energy of Five of Pentacles for long. She's understanding this is a temporary thing that comes from her focus on the past, that comes from the necessity right now for her to continue this healing process in this Nine of Wands. She's really mindful. If he's not here yet, I'm not here yet for myself. If he's not communicating to me, I'm not communicating what I need and expressing my emotions to myself, right? If he's not calling me and connecting with me, I'm not connecting in general with others and with myself. And so I'm still needing to work on this Nine of Wands energy. I don't see here a blaming that's going on with this Knight of Wands. What I see when I see this judgment is that there will be this salvation, there will be this end, this final moment, this judgment day for this Five of Pentacles energy. And that, in fact, that time that is it's kind of here, which is why she's got the sense that this Knight of Wands energy that's keeping her in the Five of Pentacles energy, this is not an energy that's going to linger. It's on its way out. There's this rebirth coming. There's this death and rebirth and salvation that's coming. And she's not judging herself either for still having to heal and process. And she's persevering because the Nine of Wands is really to persevere. You fought hard battles against this Five of Pentacles energy and against this Knight of Wands energy. And now you're recuperating and you're healing, and your judgment day is here. You've done good work, and here you are at this moment where you are right. And this was here yesterday in the same placement. You are ready. Four of Cups in reverse is I'm ready to stop fantasizing about this Knight of Wands. I'm ready to stop being in a place where I am only, just this, how do I want to say this? Like a flash in this person's life, just something that like they're coming in and they're coming out again. That's not a thing anymore. The judgment, the salvation is here, is that I'm no longer going to be having to deal with this kind of energy because my commitment to myself is going to reflect back that commitment to me. And then we have clarifying the Nine of Wands. The overthinking that is happening. I can't wait to see it. We've got the King of Cups. So I'm healing and I'm persevering because I want to achieve the I can't talk today. Divine masculine worth energy that is embodied in this King of Cups card. I want to have that compassion, that just behavior, that like kindness, intuition that's embodied by this King of Cups. And I want to have this because I want a match to this. And so I'm being patient in this healing energy. And I'm understanding also that my divine masculine is healing because the King of Cups shadow trait is that he is not able to really express how he feels because he can't cause panic. He has to protect everyone from panicking or fear. And so he can't reveal his weaknesses and his insecurities and his fears and even his desires to a certain extent. He has to maintain this level behavior so that he can command his empire. And divine feminine is understanding that divine masculine is healing the imbalance that comes with this card, where he is not fully expressive the way that the Queen of Cups is, or the Knight of Cups. Y'all can't get rid of this Knight of Cups in reverse. He just keeps coming back and coming back and coming back. And we know that this is about divine feminine's inability to receive this Knight of Cups because she's so overwhelmed by the amount of emotion and expression that this king is sitting on. So divine feminine knows that the Five of Coins energy and the Knight of Wands energy comes from her fears about being able to handle how this King of Cups actually feels about her. And she understands that it is herself and her thoughts and her fears that are blocking her 10 of Cups, her spiritual fulfillment. I cannot make that up. There it is for all to see. 10 of Cups blocked by these wounds that she's healing so that she can finally be ready to receive. But she is doing the healing and she is aware of it and she knows what it is that she has to do and she's working really hard to do it. Her heart space, top of the deck, overall feeling of the heart space is the Five of Wands in reverse. So that stuck feeling that has been haunting her, she's finally feeling like she's becoming unblocked, unstuck. And look at the niggling feeling. The Knight of Wands in reverse. So we have this mirrored head and heart, and she's feeling that she is finally unblocking the energy that has perpetuated these shadow traits of this Knight of Wands. She's also feeling like her divine masculine is engaging in the shadow traits of the Knight of Wands right now. But it's not phasing her as much anymore. It's just not triggering her. It's not making her go into this energy where she is fully protecting herself to the point of sabotaging. But she is protecting herself. She's being careful. She's understanding that as she unblocks this energy, it's going to swiftly bring things to her. And she's going to get tests from the universe. When you start to unblock, the first thing the universe does is test it. Oh, are you truly unblocked though? Let's test it and see. And so she knows she's going to be tested by this behavior from the divine masculine, and that her job is to stay strong and not go into this Eight of Swords energy that could really keep her here in this lack mentality. So she's working to be cautious about being overprotective of her heart space and blind to what's going on and blind to whether or not she's receiving a test or whether this is like the real thing. So she's treading carefully. She's being very cautious. And she's doing that because she doesn't want to go back into a state of lack mentality with this divine masculine or with this thing she's trying to manifest. She really wants to stay in a place where she believes in her efficacy and believes that she can handle what it is that's coming, so she doesn't try to protect herself from achieving it or receiving it. This Knight of Wands, can't make it up. This is the Nine of Wands healing the Knight of Wands, which was clarified by the Nine of Wands. So Nine of Wands, Knight of Wands, Nine of Wands. Healing this energy, because this whole time she blamed divine masculine for this energy, and she's like, oops, that was my energy. I was blaming him for, I was afraid that he didn't really love me. So whenever he made any gestures, I interpreted them as these gestures. Oh, that doesn't have any consistency. That doesn't have any like real solidity or stability in it because he doesn't really love me, right? So her fears about his intentions were making her then engage in the same kind of passionate gestures, which were not having any consistency, because she would make these gestures towards him and try to save the situation, and then bloop, she would pull out again and block him and be like, oh, he's not being consistent. He's being a Knight of Wands. He's just toying with me. He's just playing with my heart. He's just teasing with me. He's not around here for the long haul. So I'm going to block him. And then divine masculine would be like, damn it. And they would just cycle through that. So divine feminine is healing. And she understands that divine masculine is healing this energy too, because he's a reflection of her, and she's fully understanding this now, which is fantastic. The Nine of Wands is clarified by the, wow, I really can't make this up, 6, yes, Roman numerals, 6 of Swords in reverse in the heart space. So we have union in head and heart. We've already had mirroring. Now we have union. That's 3 positions of 6. This is nuts. And the 6 of Swords in reverse is clarifying the 9 of Wands, which is exactly what I said about the 6 of Swords in her brain. Do you see how tuned in this divine feminine is? Her head already knew what I'm telling her about her heart. Her head was like, yeah, I know, bro. I know. I got to heal this freaking Knight of Wands energy inside of me, and I got to heal this lack mentality and not like be afraid and, you know, keep myself from experiencing these things. And I need to stop being afraid of where I'm going and embrace that the struggles that I'm going through right now or that I've gone through have prepared me, and I'm ready to go and do these things. And I need to not hold myself back. I need to not wait for this divine masculine to get on my boat. I just got to keep it pushing and trust that he's going to catch up. You know, he's going to run and jump and he'll make it into the boat, but I need to push off the shore. But I'm understanding that I've got to do this healing to be able to really get into this place where I can finally build this bridge to where I want to go. Because right now I'm overthinking things and I'm not allowing healing to take place. I could potentially be numbing myself, or if I'm not numbing myself, I keep like loop thinking over the same things and doing that overthinking, and I really need to stop doing that. That's what her, and then, oh my God, Jesus Christ, another freaking card in union. I don't even have, this is only 2 decks. It's not like we're on the 4th deck now. This is like just 2 decks. What the hell? Okay, 10 of Cups. This is mirrored because the heart space is feeling the spiritual fulfillment. The heart space, the intuition feels, nah, babes. Everything you wanted, Everything you asked for, everything you want, it's here. It's here and it's ready to pop, right? It's a coming. And you don't have to be afraid in your headspace. You're doing the healing that you need to do. You're building the bridge. You're in the process of figuring out where those wounds have expanded you so that you can get to this next place. And there's the clarifier for judgment is this 10 of cups. So your spiritual fulfillment, this is what is the salvation. This is what you get. Judgment day is here and you get what you asked for because you did the work. And you have 4 right here. 4 of cups in reverse, 4 of pentacles in reverse. No longer stuck, no longer fixed, no longer attached to a specific outcome, but ready. What are you ready for? Your wish fulfillment. 9 of cups is here again. Again. You're going to get this wish and you know it and you feel it intuitively, which is why you are afraid of what you're wishing for. Can I make that up? Could I make that up? Could I make that up? You have to heal the fact that you're afraid of what you want. You're afraid of this king. You're afraid of how much he loves you and how much the expression of all of his feelings terrifies you, because when you love somebody, you're also afraid of losing them. So when you see his doubt or his fears about himself or the things that he's not sure about, you freak out. Like, I don't know if I can handle that. That's what blocks your spiritual fulfillment. This is what you want, right? This is what you want. You want a king of cups who's able to express with that Knight of Cups to bring you spiritual fulfillment. You're terrified of it. And you think you're not? I mean, I know I am. Maybe you think you're not. I know I am. I've figured it out. Like, that's why this is my headspace too. So if you're afraid of what you wish for, can you have it? No. So you have to figure out why you're afraid and you have to heal those wounds. And you're doing that. And I'm proud of you. All right, Divine Masculine. It looks like you have some wounds. Oh my God. This is insanity. Literally. I apologize for the lack of diversity in imagery this morning, since it's pretty much just the same freaking cards over and over again. Love that for us. Okay. We have here, top of the deck, overall headspace for this Divine Masculine. He is super scared. 9 of Swords. He's soups terrified and he's overthinking, although he's not really. He's got 6 cards in his headspace, but he's being assaulted by his fears and anxieties in regards to what he's about to do. And we know what he's about to do because he's been thinking about it for a couple of days. He wants to bring in an offer. He wants to have a commitment. He wants to mend things. He wants to end separation. He knows he's done some shit, so he has to have accountability for it. And so he's got to come and talk about that and just uncomfortable things. And so he's going over and over and over and over all the details of the things that he needs to think about and talk about and say and do. And he feels crazy right now and scared. Super scared. The niggling thought in the back of his mind is this 3 of Pentacles in reverse. And so we have him, what he's scared of is shifting into the 3D. It's been a fantasy. It's been a fantasy. It's been something he's been thinking about, right? It's been something he's been building up, and he's building it up with the fears and doubts and worries he has. So, of course, he's afraid of shifting into this 3D energy, but he does feel that it's coming. He's also fearing that he's resisted doing the work a little bit, because if he's feeling like this, then it must mean that he has still some work to do. And so he's feeling aggravated by that too. He's like, if I'm still feeling it, like just like Divine Feminine, if I'm still feeling this way, then there must still be something that I'm missing, and I've got to do the work, and I'm sick of it because I feel like the work should be done by now. I'm like still freaking out. So like, why am I freaking out? Definitely got that energy from him. First card in his headspace, death in reverse. So the rebirth of this connection, it's coming. But he is feeling like the end isn't quite here yet. And it's because he's really still doing this. He's still working up the courage to wield this sword. Again, when I pick up this card and when it popped out and I saw it, I did not feel that he doesn't want to tell the truth. He does, especially because of the next card and the one below it. But what I see is that he is working up the courage that he needs, because the Page of Swords is the energy of, like, I always use the analogy of Harry Potter behind the gravestone when he has to fight Voldemort in the 4th book, and all he has is his wand and one spell, or one or two spells, and he fights him and he steps out and he knows he's probably going to die, but he's like, I'm going to go out fighting at least. So it's a really brave energy. It's a true Gryffindor who wields the sword they don't know how to wield. And Divine Masculine is really working up the courage to bring rebirth to this connection. But he's afraid, right? The top of the deck is like, I'm fucking terrified of saying or doing the wrong thing. I've got a very sensitive, very demanding Divine Feminine, and I just want to reciprocate. Right? Here we have the 6 of Pentacles in the same position as yesterday. That's 2 places in the spread where I had cards in the same position too, which is cuckoo. 6 of Pentacles, reciprocity. Finally, there is a sense here that Divine Feminine is acknowledging Divine Masculine as reciprocating to her. So he's feeling, he's definitely feeling validated by that. But now he wants to actually be able to show the generosity that he has been hoarding, because he's been strategizing and needing to do this in a certain way and really wanting to make this moment when he gets to share with her be big and significant, because she's waited so long and she deserves so much. This is how he's feeling. And so the moment is here. He's able to reciprocate to the Queen of Wands, and he's so magnetically attracted to this queen. This is a very, very sexy, attractive, magnetic, charismatic queen. And he's afraid because he's got to match her, right? And how do you match a Queen of Wands? I mean, I don't know. I'll tell you if he's able to do it. Okay, death in reverse, that's what is being clarified. And so he really, really, really wants to bring about the rebirth of the connection with this Divine Feminine. He doesn't want to lose her. He doesn't want to lose her. And he wants to be able to revive this passion that they have for each other. And then what do we have? 9 of Wands, which is 3 decks coughed it up. Here's one of them. 9 of Wands. Now, Divine Feminine got the 9 of Wands upright. Divine Masculine is mirroring her. He has it in its reverse, and it's clarifying, working up the courage. So he has been doing his healing. He has had to go into isolation and do this healing in order to work up the courage. But he's ready. There's the 4 of Cups. He's ready. He's ready. He's cooked. He's fully cooked. He's ready to bring in the reciprocity that is needed for this connection to move forward. He's absolutely ready. He's in that same 4 of Cups in reverse energy, coming out of fantasy, coming out of escapism, coming out of that pause, meditation, and contemplation, and being ready to go forward. And that's why he's terrified right now. That's why he can't sleep, and he's up thinking about everything he has to do, all the work that needs to be accomplished, all the work that has done, but all the work that needs to be done going forward. And he really wants to be collaborating with her and working in a team. And he can't until he does make this offer. And then finally they can be in that team that he's after. Top of the deck, overall feeling of his heart space, temperance. And it's upright. We saw temperance yesterday for divine feminine. So here we have divine masculine now trusting in his heart space that the divine is taking care of the healing. This healing that he's needed to do, the divine is taking care of it. Because the side that we're seeing is this side. And this man that surrendered on the gallows, hung himself to receive perspective and be able to figure out what to do, he's not there anymore. He's gone because this divine presence has taken over this balancing energy for him and is holding on to the strength and freedom that he needs to be able to move forward. And so he's fully trusting in the divine protection of this union at this moment. And right below it is the Three of Wands in reverse. Like, we're ready. We are ready. All right. The niggling feeling, it's time to party. And it's time to party with divine feminine and divine feminine alone. Not all this third party energy in this card anymore. No. It's celebration and reunion with this divine feminine who has her cup filled up and is able to share with divine masculine. And here is her cup of love. And here are the two cups of the union. On either side of her, he is absolutely ready to party with this divine feminine. Have fun, be playful, enjoy this time that they're now going to have with each other because of his readiness to move forward. First thing up, clarifying the rebirth that he wanted to experience. He wanted to see that Queen of Wands. He wants to bring about this change and this shift. And what is clarifying this but this strange image of the King of Pentacles? But I'm not sad that it is reversed, because the good old vice versa is showing us that what's being reversed is the block, this wall of protection that he's built up around himself to hoard everything that he has, his abundance, his emotions, his feelings, his love. All of this was built up, this protection around him. And this is what is ending. This is what is ending. He's no longer protecting his heart, protecting his wealth, protecting the things that he wants to share with the divine feminine. That is ending, and that is going to allow the rebirth of this connection. And then we have the star, his hope, the thing that is keeping him going, the thing that is causing him to work up the courage to approach divine feminine, is that she is his light in the darkness. Here he is. This is his light doing this work for the two of them, this healing work that she's been doing, showing him, revealing to him how to do this, showing him how to honor himself and fill up his own cup. And he has been in this energy with her, and he's working up the courage to come out of that energy of 5D and finally reveal himself to her. And then what the fuck? The Six of Pentacles is freaking clarified by the Six of Pentacles. And the reversal, again, is a vice versa reversal, where what we're seeing the reversal on is not the reciprocity. He is, in fact, ready to give. It's the controlling behavior that is associated with this. This idea that only he can save the connection, only he can do these things that need to be done for this connection. He's relinquishing the feeling of control that he has to have over this little world, and instead coming into reciprocity with the divine feminine who he wants to work with. And there's the Two of Swords, and there's no more standstill. There's no more, I don't know which choice to make, because if I make this choice, then this will happen, or this choice. And so I'm just not making any choice at all. Nope. He made a choice. When divine feminine went into this energy with him, which is like, listen, you have to make a choice. I don't want to be in the standstill with you anymore. So either shit or get off the pot. He did. And he chose divine feminine. And what he's choosing is to end this painful separation. 9, 10, right? End this painful separation. He does not. This is a crazy amount of cards. This is a crazy amount of cards that are freaking the same. This painful separation that they are both in. They're both feeling it. And my mom says that too, Ash. That's definitely where I got that phrase. And my dad, shit or get off the pot, a classic. All right. But yes, so he wants to end this painful separation between them because it has been extremely painful. And what is this all embedded in? The armor. A suit of armor. He wants to take off that protection. Stop protecting himself from what he wants, from who he loves. He wants to stop doing this. And then here's another fucking card of union. Oh no, it's not. It's Wheel of Fortune. But I always think of Judgment because has this judgment element in it. But the Wheel of Fortune, good luck, massive change and a shift. And then, of course, the other side, we see the ability to manifest and how this is ready to go, ready to make this change. And then this beautiful, beautiful 9 of Swords in reverse. I'm afraid. And his heart is like, release the fears. It's time for this big change. It's time you have all the luck. And it's time, right? Okay. Let's look at their oracles. Divine Feminine. What will help you navigate this time of healing while you unblock to allow Divine Masculine? Now, you got a bunch of archetypes today. So let's see where you are in your energy. Poet energy. Light attributes. Expresses soul insights in symbolic language. So you are in your poet energy right now. You are able to express these things that you've been learning in the words that you're saying, symbolic language. You could be writing music, you could be singing, you could be writing books, poems, stories, making movies, crafting, creating visual things, but you are at the point where you are turning these insights that you're gaining from these readings and from this experience and from this journey into symbolic language. And you're understanding that as people read, process, hear, listen to symbolic language, and it triggers these archetypal like feelings and thoughts and ideas within them, you are actually creating change. You're also in the light attributes of the child, the orphan child. Independence based on learning to go it alone and conquering your fear of surviving. So the reason why you're able to kind of be calm in this place where you're still kind of where you are and you want to get where you want to go, but you're not chafing at it, is because you are really conquering your fear of surviving. You're conquering the idea that you're not going to be able to survive on your own or alone, or that somehow you're not whole when you're alone. And because you're conquering that, you're really able to let go of feelings of abandonment that stifle maturation and seeking inappropriate surrogate families, which are the shadow attributes of that card. You are also in the light attributes of father energy, which means you are really integrating this divine masculine energy inside of you. And you have a talent for creating and supporting life, and you are a positive guiding light within a tribal unit. So you're really creating and supporting life, creating new things, and through that supporting new life. And you are you're just truly a positive guiding light for others right now at this point in time as well, because of this work that you've been doing. Your guardian angel is to remind you that practice makes perfect and to remain optimistic. So you're just figuring it out. It's true you don't know exactly what you're doing. It's true you're healing wounds and you're becoming new again. And you have to practice. And so if you practice with the divine masculine and things aren't going so well and you can't really understand why that's happening, what's going on, just remain optimistic. You're figuring it out. You're figuring it out, but remain optimistic right now because things are going well. All is well. It is not about controlling my thoughts. It is about guiding them. We are not encouraging you to make an effort to control your thoughts, but instead to more or less guide your thoughts. Reaching for the way you would like to feel is an easier way to hold your thoughts in vibrational alignment with that which you believe is good. So it is much easier to reach for a thought that feels better than to try to stop thoughts that feel bad. If you try to stop thinking about the purple elephant in the room, what are you thinking about right now? You can't stop thinking about what you keep telling yourself to stop thinking about. So don't try to stop your thoughts. Instead, let your thoughts happen and work on finding one that feels a little better than the ones you're experiencing. You can use distraction. You can use companion animals to help soothe you. There are ways to soothe you so that you can find just to feel. And remember, the tiniest bit better you feel, then if you grab onto that, you'll start to feel better and better and better and better. That's the law of attraction. So don't try to control your thoughts. And that's why meditation is a practice that we should cultivate, because it allows us to learn that skill of constantly having to redirect our thoughts. Because if you've ever tried to meditate, you experience a lot of thoughts, and people think, "Oh, I'm not meditating correctly because I keep getting distracted." No, every time you get distracted and then draw your attention back to your heart space or whatever focus you have or the mantra that you're doing, every single time, even if for 20 minutes, let's say you're meditating for 22 minutes, and for 20 minutes your mind kept distracting you, but for 1 minute you realized that was happening, you stopped it and you focused on your breath for a few seconds. Boom, you're learning the skill that meditation teaches you. You're going to have thoughts, they're going to come, but you don't have to react to them. And you can keep returning to the center where there's peace and calm right there, instantly there for you. That is a skill that you can use when you're awake and not meditating, when you've got a bunch of thoughts and you can be like, "Oh, I'm breathing though. I am breathing." Right? As long as you can do that and you're not focusing and feeding a lot of detail into all of this chaos and fear and worry that's assaulting you, you can start to feel better, because in that silence, in that quiet, you'll be able to tune into an idea that will help you get out of that feeling. Expect powerful change. I think you should, based on this reading, Divine Feminine. Understand that what you are experiencing right now is the initiation, this rite of passage. You're crossing the threshold. You're coming out of the cave. You're resisting it a little bit because you don't know what's out there. You've been in here for a good long while and you're not entirely sure what's out there. And a rite of passage is usually frightening, and it's frightening on purpose because it's calling you to face your fear and be brave. And people who don't have fears, they don't ever have to be brave. But if you're afraid, that's when bravery is required. And when you can be brave, you can break through these barriers that hold you back. So you are crossing that threshold. Armadillo Spirit is here with this oracle message of setting healthy boundaries, which looks really important because you've got the 9 of Wands in both head and heart, and the 8 of Swords too, which is advising caution about how you go forward. And, you definitely are in a place where you need to set healthy boundaries. So Colette Baron Reed has the best advice. We're going to read her messages. Learning to set healthy boundaries is a gift of armadillo spirit. You're entering a phase where, in order for you to be in alignment with your intentions and co create your best life, you may have to be discerning and say no to many things that may have been okay for you in the past. This also means that you need to learn where you end and where others begin, what is yours to own and what is not. Know your limits and understand that it's an empowering choice to say no to what doesn't feel right. Armadillo Spirit is here to tell you it's time to be honest with yourself about what you really want. Be clear on what you are agreeing to. Declare what your needs are and say no as a full sentence. These are acts of respect and kindness to others as well as to yourself. Trust your body's signals and you will know what to do. Armadillo Spirit guides you in making good decisions that are grounded in a strong sense of what belongs to you and what does not. If this big change that is coming, if this threshold that is being crossed is into a new relationship, then setting healthy boundaries is so important. And if before you are in that relationship, you already have a sense of what that looks like for you, it will be a lot easier to check in with yourself and be like, am I honoring my boundaries that I set for myself? Am I honoring those things that were important to me? Am I in alignment with my highest self in how I'm being treated by this person? Okay? So, Divine Masculine, you got also 3 archetypes today. And you are in the shadow attributes right now of the athlete, which is a false sense of invulnerability and entitlement, and the misuse of athletic ability for selfish ends. And you need to come into the light traits, which is a dedication to transcending physical limits, including handicaps, and a development of personal willpower and strength of spirit. So I'm not seeing you so much in a false sense of invulnerability and entitlement. I'm feeling more like it's about calling in the light, which is developing personal willpower and strength of spirit, because you've been stuck for 2 days with trying to work up courage, trying to be brave, not resisting it, but really trying, really working on being brave. And so I think it's just bringing awareness to the development of this personal willpower and strength of spirit and believing that you can achieve these things. You've been practicing and training for lifetimes, kind of like, when that card comes up, and you are ready. Don't be afraid that you are not ready for this. You're in the light attributes of the wounded child right now, which awakens compassion and desire to serve other wounded children and opens the learning path of forgiveness. So, Divine Masculine, you really have surrendered to this divine healing and balancing temperance energy. And you have done this work and really worked on this inner child and have been healing it. And then we're getting the Mystic card for you today, which is reveling in intimate union with the divine. So it's your turn to be in this energy where you're actually really truly enjoying the connection that you're making with the divine through this journey towards this manifestation. What you really gained is a relationship with the source, and that's not something that you had in the past. And so you're really reveling in that and understanding that it came from understanding this relationship with the divine feminine. Your guardian angel is here to support you with this higher education. So this hierophant energy, this higher level learning, higher lessons, and it's graduating and achieving and having learned this lesson. The angel is there with your diploma, like you've done it, you've graduated, you've learned this lesson. And then here's the same message: I will reach for the best feeling thought I have access to. So the companion card to the card that talks about not trying to control your thoughts, but to choose better feeling thoughts instead. Here's the science behind that. Always be reaching for the feeling of relief that comes when you release a more resistant thought and replace it with a more allowing, better feeling thought. The stream of well being is always flowing through you, and the more you allow it, the better you feel. The more you resist it, the worse you feel. So when you're feeling badly and the thoughts that are coming that are not in your control are resistant ones, again, don't try to stop the resistant thoughts, but try to replace them with a more allowing, better feeling thought. So if you're like, this will never happen, it's taking forever, I'm gonna die before I ever see the results of whatever thing I'm wanting. Okay. Those are resistant thoughts to have. Instead of being like, I have to stop thinking that way. Instead, while you're being like, this is gonna happen forever, I slip in there when you get a chance. I mean, it probably won't last forever. I feel like there's a lot of people who like eventually got over that or eventually they got that or like whatever. You know, it's probably not good. It's probably temporary. It's like I mean it's likely that it's temporary. It's most likely temporary. And if it's temporary then it means it'll be over soon. And when it's over, it's going to feel so much better and like then I'll be able to have this and that and oh, that's actually true. You know, maybe I'll want that. Like that is how you find your way out. Reach for the better feeling thought and keep doing that. I have a David Bowie playlist going right now that I can see. And I just looked over and it says Kingdom Come. A time for healing. We see that for divine feminine. Divine masculine, you're just being told like your fear that you're feeling, the anxieties, the things that are keeping you from going forward. Don't feel ashamed or worried about it. Don't feel like less than because you're having trouble working up courage. It's not a big deal. There's a time for healing. And so your fears and anxieties, those are things that need to be healed. Just like divine feminine is healing, you're both healing and there's nothing to worry about at the moment. And then you're getting this card from the Work Your Light deck, which is no. Postpone, pause, or say no. And my feeling on this card is that someone has asked you to do something and you need to say no. You need to wait, postpone, or pause. This isn't in regards to the union. This is in regards to something else outside of you. There's somebody that's asked you to do something, and actually, this divine feminine energy of the armadillo spirit needs to be in place. You need to set a healthy boundary with some requests that has been made. You need to say no, or you need to right now at least wait and postpone and pause and think about what you're being asked to do because there is some element here where there's a boundary that's not being respected. That's my feeling from that card. Okay. And then we have Rhino Spirit again, but we're getting the Oracle message instead of the protection message today. So we've kind of turned this card around. The Oracle message is we always have the choice to press ahead, and Rhino Spirit's strength offers you the power to break through stubborn obstacles. This animal spirit knows where there is more than one way to open a path to what you seek. When Rhino Spirit appears, you are reminded that you have a marvelous ability to overcome obstacles in multiple ways by going around them, shattering them with force of clear, deliberate intentions, or even transforming them into clouds that drift away by refusing to allow them to limit you. Apply your Rhino Spirit with creativity, and no obstacle can stand, for you have magic to make and many ways in which to make it. Your power is awesome right now. Rhino Spirit also wants to remind you that when an obstacle appears to prevent you from getting what you desire today, it means that something much better is coming. Keep that in mind when you consider the nature of the obstacle in front of you now. Great Spirit loves you so much and only wants the best for you. So keep that in mind. When an obstacle appears to prevent you from getting what you desire today, it means that something much better is coming. So don't panic. The tests that you're getting, the universe wants to see you respond like this. You get the obstacle and you're like, okay, well, I guess something better is coming. Okay? Because when you used to get the obstacles, you would be like, oh my God, this means I can never have it. And I'm going to call everybody that I've ever met and tell them about it and talk about it endlessly for days and days and days and days and days. And then after I've done that for 10 days, I'm going to be like, now what do I do? Because like, oh, this has been going on in like my whole plan and like everything I wanted. That was you. And the tests now are, there's an obstacle in front of you. Are you going to panic, lose faith, lose hope, lose trust, go into a state of despair, take 10 steps back? Or are you going to be like, oh, all right, I guess something better is coming. So annoying. Because that's the kind of reaction that you should have, because that is true. Because the other thing is not true. The other thing is based on fears, worries, anxieties, things that haven't happened yet. The 24-hour news cycle. Did you ever notice when you turn on the news that it's mostly about things that could happen, might happen, potentially might, possibly? What the fuck? This has become the 24-hour news cycle. It looks like this. It feels like this because it is this. It is a bunch of like, this could happen and that could happen and this could happen and maybe this. And what about this? What if this happened? And if this happened, it would be so bad. Because we have a negative thought bias. So we're interested in that. But our potential is to relinquish the power those thoughts have over us and be like, I mean, so this is happening. I guess something better is coming. What the fuck? And if you're excited and joyful and appreciative, I think it's going to move even faster. If you get an obstacle and you're like, I must be close because I keep getting a bunch of tests and I'm totally going to get this soon because like, I don't know, like I was trucking along with this big obstacle came my way, but I know it's just the universe being like, do you want it though? And I'm like, yeah, bro, I totally want it. Like, okay. Imagine that you did that the next obstacle that came up. I got an obstacle. I got a note on my door, 15-day notice for eviction, which is bullshit. They can't evict anybody. My past self would have been like, what is going on? My current self looked at it and was like, oh my God, this stupid clerical error that has been in my account for this whole time is still there. And they just won't change it. But it doesn't matter because I got a check from the city and everything's going to be fine, except my bank wouldn't cash that check for some reason because there's been a lot of check fraud. And so I have to contact this program. And like in the past, I would have been on the phone every day being like, oh my God, I have to do this and I don't know if I can do it. And when this is happening now, I'm just like, I'll handle this on Monday. Like, it's so annoying, but like, I know it's fine. I have the money. There's nothing wrong. It's fine. Okay. Like, that's what you have to be like. That's where you have to be. And that means that I'll be able to handle that on Monday and it will be fine. The other version of me would have, like, I don't know, something would have happened. Something would have happened because I would have kept thinking about how something bad is going to happen instead of, something good is going to happen because I'm barreling through this obstacle. All right, let's look at the bottom of the deck. For the couple in union, the things that the both of you need to know, and this is really amazing because you're in full energy, which is new beginning. New beginning. There's a new beginning here for the two of you. And you are in the light attributes, fearlessly revealing your emotions to each other, helping people laugh at absurdity and hypocrisy, which is the ultimate gift to humanity. Making people laugh, it's the greatest. Saint Raphael is here, and it's emphasized. And he hasn't been here in a minute. He is emphasizing healthful eating, but he's also the twin flame angel. He's the angel who oversees union. So he's here with y'all right now, and I think that's a pretty good sign. And there might be some healthful eating that should be taking place, just some intuitive eating, really kind of tuning in. You're wanting to tune into your divine masculine. Why don't you tune into your body and find out really what your body wants? Not like what an external guide tells you your body should want, but just like close your eyes and think of whatever your body wants. If you think of blueberry pancakes, but you don't really want to eat wheat or have something sugary or something, but your body thought of blueberry pancakes, then think about what the essence of that is. That's a warm, comforting food. It has a fruit in it. It has blueberries. Those are pretty good for you. It has, whatever. Find the essence of the thing that you're craving and satisfy your body's need for that thing in whatever way you feel is most supportive, that causes you to feel your best. And if feeling your best involves getting actual blueberry pancakes and you don't do that, and then you just go and eat blueberries by themselves instead, and you're like, I didn't want cold blueberries. I wanted warm pancakes with like butter on them. Maybe you need fat. Maybe you need the, like, whatever it is that's in the wheat. Like, you don't know what it is about the thing that you're craving that you need. So just try to find peaceful ways to honor your cravings and watch what happens. So there's your Saint Raphael is there for you. And then I'm rediscovering the art of allowing my natural being, and that is what you both are doing. We call this discipline the art of allowing. It is the art of allowing the well being, which makes up every particle of that which you are and that which you come from, to continue to flow through you as you continue to be. So you're discovering that when you're tapping into the better feeling thoughts, what you're doing is allowing natural well being. And that this Nine of Swords energy is unnatural. This is not natural. This comes from overthinking. It comes from pulling in other limiting beliefs. Do you see how, like, those, they're falling with gravity, but they're also attracted to him, right? It's like he's attracting those thoughts by focusing on them. Nothing is yet set in stone, divine couple. The mutable moon is here. Nothing is yet set in stone. So don't be worried about things not working out. Don't be certain you know how they will. Just flow with the energy that's around you. Allow the changes and healing to take place. As you change and heal, everything shifts every day. That's why we come every day to the readings. You would think one reading once a week would be sufficient, but it turns out that your energy shifts from day to day. Star Mother. How can you mother yourself, divine couple? You have a tendency, both of you, to overmother each other because you lacked some kind of mothering energy, perhaps, or the mothering energy you had was somehow she misread your signals, or there wasn't this communication that you had correctly with this mothering energy. So because of that, both of you have these wounds, and you tend to overcompensate by overmothering each other instead of nurturing yourself and believing that that divine masculine or divine feminine energy has the ability to nurture themselves. And when you believe that someone needs you to nurture them, right, needs you to be generous, needs you to provide, you're really being controlling, which is one of the shadow traits of the divine feminine energy, divine mother energy. So how can you be in the light traits of the mother for yourself so that you can actually be in a nurturing relationship together without over mothering, being overbearing, overprotective, etc.? We're getting cutie koala spirit. Spirit has a plan. In nature, the koala moves slowly through the branches of the eucalyptus tree, leisurely chewing the leaves, reminding us that life is not a race or competition. Chasing around after every distraction can keep us from recognizing that we have all we need and that spirit will always be there with gifts to sustain us. You're being asked to trust that by moving slowly with faith in the abundance that is everywhere, surrendering to a power greater than yourself, you will be able to experience the manifestation of your desire. As you take your time enjoying the riches available to you right now, sitting peacefully, you begin to radiate the joy and abundance you seek. Spirit is here to help you discover happiness, pleasure, and contentment, all gifts that are yours now and in the future. Have faith and trust in Spirit's plan for you, and know that you are loved and cherished. Slow and steady energy, and trusting that it's taking this time, because if you came together sooner, you would fall apart faster. And you really want to stay together this time, don't you? All right. We have our closing goddess energy for our goddess practice, whereby we put our hands over our hearts. And for 15 minutes at some point today, we are saying, my heart is the heart of the goddess as a mantra. You can say this goddess if you want to. You can have your own divine feminine energy of any kind. The idea is just that we're balancing the energy because the energy of the divine feminine has been oppressed, and we all need to raise her up and give her the respect that she deserves so that we can have balance again. This goddess we have to focus on today is Morgan Le Fay. Morgan Le Fay is commonly remembered as the enchantress half-sister of King Arthur. She is, in fact, the great queen goddess, ruler of the mystical island of Avalon, the fortunate island of the blessed dead. Sometimes equated with the ancient Irish warrior goddess Morrigan, she is the Celtic death goddess. As Morgana Fata, she is the controller of destinies and knows the fate of each person. She is noted for her healing powers, her knowledge of healing plants, and her prophetic vision. Like a shaman, she is a shapeshifter, able to take on many forms. Morgan Le Fay represents that deep place of healing magic within each of us, the center where wisdom and healing flow, even in the moment of death. The ambivalence with which she is traditionally represented echoes our own fear of her deep and ancient wisdom. All right, that is today's reading. It was very beautiful. It's very peaceful. I don't feel a lot of tumultuousness. I mean, I know Divine Masculine's freaking out, but like it's pretty normal. It's just like what happens when you have a big idea or a big plan or something that you want to bring into the 3D and manifest. Something big like that does cause you to do a lot of overthinking. And Divine Feminine was doing a lot of overthinking, but she knows what her fears are and she knows what she needs to do. She needs to heal them. She needs to unblock by healing these wounds, and she's doing it. She needs to set up healthy boundaries. And this Divine Masculine, he knows what he needs to do. He needs to take away this protective armor that he's been wearing and choose to come forward and release his fears about his spiritual fulfillment and take advantage of the opportunity that's here with him right now, the luck that is here, because everything is ready and in place for him to be successful. So he can release these fears that he has. Thank you so much for being here with me today. Please like, subscribe, share, click on the notifications so that you know when I'm going live. Follow me on Instagram. I also announce going live every day by posting a time lapse of the shuffle, and I will post the songs that came on during that time lapse. Today I listened to a David Bowie station, so there were 3 David Bowie songs. But what was funny is the first one was the song from yesterday, so Stay. It's a big one. And then also Oh You Pretty Things came on, and Young Americans. So those were the 3 songs today for the shuffle. You can go look up the lyrics and see if there are messages for you there. There certainly were messages for me there. So yes, you can follow me over on Instagram. I should be putting up a sticker story later today. I forgot to do it yesterday. My bad. So I'm going to try to do it today. But when you get there, there will be a story. It will say, what song do you feel embodies the Lover's card? Tell me what song works for you. I will add it to a playlist. We will shuffle. And then whatever song wins, those people will win a free hour-long reading from me that will look a lot like the reading that I do here, but it will be specifically catered to you and your specific questions and energy, so it won't be general. All right, everybody, take care and have a lovely day. Thank you so much, Ash, for moderating, and good to see you, Emily, and I shall see you all. And Disha, nice to meet you. I shall see you all tomorrow morning on Tune and Tarot. And if I don't do tomorrow morning, because sometimes my Sundays get a little wonky, I'm always on Instagram at noon Pacific Coast time, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, live with Grace Strega. And we do a check-in. She takes Divine Feminine or Masculine, and I take the opposite. We draw 6 cards each, discuss it, and then we have a time at the end for you to ask personal questions, and we will pull cards for you there during the live reading. So that's also available tomorrow on Instagram. Tuned in Tarot over there. Have a lovely day.